观众朋友们，大家好，欢迎收看《洋厨房卖家秀》买家秀，我是刘烨。平时我们刷短视频的时候呢，经常会刷到一些网红的美食，像是网红脆皮年糕、网红烤猪蹄、网红柠檬鸡爪等等隔着手机屏幕，这个口水也是会流出来的。不过你也不用光羡慕了，今天在我们的卖家秀里就会教您几招做网红美食的技能，一起来学学吧。
Kei tēnei hōtaka. A whānau recipe for the perfect lamb shanks. Thank you very much. Say goodbye to boring risotto. It has kumara, spinach, lots of cream, and of course, the key ingredient, parmesan. Something a little different, crispy pork knuckles. So good. And chocolate molten lava cakes to finish. Namu namua.
You deserve this dessert.
The dish that I'm going to be making today is smoked kumara puree with lamb shanks and blanched beans. Now this dish is very special to me for two reasons. The first reason being that smoked kumara puree was one that my friend Tasha and I created on MKR. The second being the lamb shank dish. Now this is a dish that my sister, who's so dear to me, and I created for a matariki dinner with the Waitai sisters. So I'm really looking forward to showing you some quick and easy steps on how you too can make this amazing dish in your whare. He miti re me, he penu penu kumara kua kakaratia e te ahi, he pini hoki hei kinaki. So as you can see, quick and easy, you can do this on the stove, you can do it in a slow cooker, but today we're going to do it in an electric frying pan. So I've got this turned on. We're going to add a little bit of oil. Now, a little trick and tip about electric frying pans is that what you'll find is that it will come up to temperature, switch itself off, and continuously keep doing that throughout the cook. So keep an eye on that. We'll just wait for that to come to room temperature, then everything's going to be chucked in. That seems about right. In goes our onions. Now, I like to add whole garlic cloves, and the thing with lamb is that you want chunkiness, you want heartiness, you want beefiness, all of that coming through together. So don't worry too much about finely dicing. We want to add these ingredients for flavour. So the best part about having whole clove garlic is that because it's going to be cooking for so long, it's going to hold its shape, but it's also still going to allow for all those flavours to infuse and be released throughout your plate. Right, that's perfect. We're going to go in with our lamb shanks and we're just searing them off. Slow cooking recipes don't always instruct you to sear meat before adding it to the pan. But by doing so, the caramelised surface of the meat will give an incredible depth of flavour to the finished dish. So what you'll find with the lamb shanks is that when they go in, this is what they look like. But slow cooking it and the cooking process, what it tends to do is that the meat will shrink down. It'll give you that beautiful bone that will come through right at the end. I actually remember when my sister and I were cooking this dish, I think we had about 90 pieces of lamb shanks, and we were in this kitchen on this giant silver stove. And can you imagine cooking 90 pieces of lamb shanks? It was like never ever stopping, constantly turning, making sure that they weren't burnt. By the time I got to the 89th one, I had to quickly be back at step one, and oh my gosh, it was hectic, but I tell you what, we pulled it off. So those are seared off perfectly. I'm just going to add some mixed herbs, salt, pepper, all into this. We're going to go in with some fresh thyme. We're going to add some tomato paste. Some canned tomatoes. And last but not least, some red wine. So all we're going to do now is cover with the lid, turn your temperature down, and allow this to slow cook for 5 hours. Smoked kumara puree. Kumara is my favourite hua whenua. The best thing about this particular dish is that it's so quick, it's so easy. You're just going to cut your kumara in half, parboil it, which basically means half cook it. Remove it from the water, sprinkle it with some nutmeg, chuck it in your smoker for about 5 to 10 minutes. All you're looking for is for the smoke flavour to get through into the kumara. Once that's done, remove from the heat, and then we're going to get the puree going. So this is nice and simple. This is our kumara that's been smoked. I'm just going to remove the skin. Don't be fussy about it, because it's about to get blitzed up. And I'm just going to roughly chop it up and put it into the NutriBullet. Now the thing about this particular dish was that when we were actually filming the show for MKR, this is a true story. I went outside to light the smoker and the whole thing literally blew up in my face. I almost lost my eyebrows. But thank goodness I didn't. Fantastic. Now to that, we're going to add some butter, salt and pepper and cream and blitz it all together. Now for me, I've always got this theory that you must taste as you go. So you're going to find, you're going to blitz it, give it a little bit of a taste. If it needs some salt, add it, pepper, add it, but get it until it's exactly how you want it. Let's go for that taste test. I must say so myself, that's pretty damn perfect. The consistency and the texture that you want to go for, as I said before, is a puree. That's done, we're going to put it to the side for later.
Now on to the greens. You want to make sure you have cut both ends off the beans before adding them to a pot of boiling water. We want them to maintain a little crunch and change to a vibrant green colour. So make sure you keep checking on them throughout the boil, which should take around 5 to 8 minutes.
All my components are ready. The lamb shank is smelling absolutely beautiful. The hipiatohe is ready to come together.
Tuatahi ake, te kumara, horahi ki te preti. Kātahi, hakatakoto hia te miti ki ronga I te penupenu, maringi hia hoki te wairanu. Hei hakamutu ake, horahia ngā pīni, I nā tea tāhua.
And there you have it, the hipiatohe, smoked kumara puree, lamb shank and blanched beans. So, I'm about to get stuck into this. Sisters, I wish you were here with me to indulge in our beautiful kai. Absolutely pull apart. We're going to toast the thyme, the garlic, and this smoked kumara puree. Might have been a 9 on the night, but it's definitely a 10 tonight. Blanching your beans keeps them soft and crunchy, all in one bite. So, in the famous words of Hera, all I have to say is, thank you very much.
E haere ake nei, an exciting take on a vegetable risotto and decadent chocolate molten lava cakes.
Risotto. Apparently it's one of those dishes that's really difficult and technically hard to make, but I'm going to show you a few steps to make it quick and easy. It's going to be delicious, it's going to be creamy, and it's going to be your next dish that you're going to take to your dinner party. It has kumara, spinach, lots of cream, and of course, the key ingredient, parmesan. All right, we're going to get into making some risotto. What you need to do is just relax, ease into it. It's not that hard. I'm telling you, we're going to do it. It's going to be delicious. Use a deep dish because you're going to be adding liquid. Okay, we want to get that nice and hot. Right, we're going to use some onions. Smell of onions, yum. Add some garlic. Going to mix that all up. Now we're going to add our arborio rice. Now this is the perfect risotto making rice.
Short grain rice like arborio is perfect for risotto. Because of its high starch content, it tends to absorb less liquid.
Now what you're going to do is that you're just going to let this cook for a little bit before we start adding in all our liquids and the rest of our ingredients. This step is actually quite important. You kind of want to get a nice browning on your rice. Now the best thing about risotto as well is that there's many ways that you can use it afterwards if it's not all eaten. I mean, this is basically what you would use to make arancini balls. That's looking great. Okay, just going to add a few things, some salt, some pepper. Now we're going to add some white wine. Cook out the alcohol. Let it simmer before we add in the rest of our ingredients. And it's at this stage that I like to add some chicken stock. This particular dish is a beautiful vegetarian dish, but it can also accompany a beautiful roast chicken. Okay, we're going to add some boiling water. This is going to cook the rice through. So when you've had a hectic day and you're really, really busy, this is the dish that I love to make just for myself and not to share. Going to add some bay leaves. Now what I've also done is that I'm going to be adding kumara. And I've grated the kumara, and the reason for that is that, you know, risotto, it's such a silky, creamy sort of dish. And when you grate your kumara, it actually cooks through a lot faster than having big chunks, and nobody wants chunky parts in a risotto. So we're just going to add that, and I've chosen golden kumara today, just to give it a little bit of colour. Just continuously keep adding your boiling water until your rice is cooked.
Once the water has absorbed, add in some cream. Add in your spinach. And last but not least, Parmesan cheese to taste.
All right, that's done. Let's plate it up. I'm hungry. This is exactly what it's meant to look like. Not only can you see, but you can smell the parmesan. The kumara's cooked all the way through, and that spinach is just adding that extra bit of yumminess. A little bit more parmesan, you can never have enough. And there you have it, kumara and spinach parmesan risotto. It is great on its own, but being the meat lover that I am, I've got it with some chicken. Let's get into it. The texture of the rice is perfect. It tastes parmesan, that kumara, yum, seasoned well.
Perfect for a winter's night, this is a kai that can feed plenty. Try this for your next whānau gathering.
Today I'm going to be making something really special for you. We're going to make pork knuckle. I know what you're thinking. What is pork knuckle? I mean, let's face it. We know pig head, you can make brawn. Out of the body, you've got pork belly, pork loin, leg ham, all of that. Why use a knuckle? Well, believe you me, this is going to be so amazing. It's quick, it's easy, two-step method. Let's get into it.
A twist on a cut of meat, not widely used by many, double-cooked pork knuckle with a zesty summer salad.
This is quick and easy. This is the first step of a two-step process. We're going to add our pork knuckles, some vinegar, peppercorns, and some bay leaves. We're going to top it up with some water, almost covering it, but not quite. So we're going to pop the lid on, put it on a medium heat, and it's going to simmer for 1 hour and 45 minutes.
Make sure after handling the raw meat you wash your hands before moving on.
So the pork knuckles have been simmering for 1 hour and 45 minutes. I've turned the heat off, allowed them to come down to medium temperature. I'm going to remove them and pat them dry with a paper towel. Make sure you don't get any of your paper towel left on them. It's pretty easy to happen. And the reason why we're doing this is we're trying to grab as much of that moisture out, because the next step is deep frying, and we know what happens when water and oil come together. Have an explosion. Alright, it seems about perfect. On to step 2.
They're not looking very appetizing right now, but trust you me, they're about to get a makeover.
Now, this is the most important part. I want you to be extremely cautious when putting the pork knuckle into this oil. I'm even praying here myself that everything goes well. I'm going to put this one in, step away, come back and put the second one in, and let it deep fry for about 6 minutes.
Safety is key in this part of the cooking process, so make sure you use a deep enough wok or pot to lessen the risk of oil splatters.
These are perfect, ready to plate up. Now, if you didn't know, this is actually a traditional Filipino dish known as crispy pata. So what we're going to do is we're going to take off the meat from the bone, and it's quite simple, just by sticking your knife in and pulling that meat away. Oh, just hear that crunch. All right. We're now going to create and put together a simple salad.
I'm going for a colourful side salad, so add greens, some carrot ribbons, some thinly sliced radish, some red onion slices, some chunky cucumber, and a few more radishes for colour and crunch.
So the best thing about adding a salad is that it adds freshness. It also makes you feel like it's the healthy component on the dish. It helps to balance out the crispiness and all that hinu in this pork knuckle. So I'm just going to make a simple dressing of lemon, sugar and oil. So a quick tip is, if you squeeze the lemon through your fingers, it will stop any pips from getting through. There you go.
Add some sugar, about a tablespoon. Me te hinu o riwia, kātahi ka kororitia.
And we're just going to drizzle that over our salad. And there you have it, our crispy pork knuckle.
This is an impressive dish for your whānau and friends to enjoy at home.
I have nothing left to say. Just let me be. I'm getting into this pork knuckle. Wow. It is literally pull apart meat. And just so that pork, the outside of the skin is like pork crackling. smells gorgeous. Don't you wish you were in my kitchen right now? The salad is beautiful and refreshing. It's a great way to cleanse the palate with all that hinu sitting at the top of the roof of my mouth. This is so good.
If you're lucky enough to have leftovers, let them cool before covering and placing them into the fridge. E whaiake nei, my decadent chocolate molten lava cakes.
Everybody loves a great dessert. When my girls and I go out to a restaurant, the first thing that we do is go straight to that dessert menu and find that chocolate cake. Today, I'm going to show you how to make the most amazing molten chocolate lava cake in your kitchen. So first up, we're going to head over to the stove. We're going to mount our butter and our chocolate. Because like I said, this is quick and easy, and trust you me, anybody can do it.
Add chocolate buttons to the butter. Stir continuously until it's completely melted and combined.
So our butter and chocolate have combined and melted perfectly. We're going to add it to our bowl. This is honestly so quick and so easy. To that, we're going to add our sugar, our flour, and what you'll notice about this recipe is that there isn't a lot of flour, and that is the secret to this particular cake. Just going to mix that together. There's also no sifting. You don't have to sift, just chuck it all in. So to that, I'm going to add 4 eggs. Combine that all together. It already smells great. And I tell you, if my kids were here, their fingers will definitely be in this bowl right now, because we all know that is the best part about baking. We're just going to put that to the side. We're going to cook these in ramekins. Really nice, really simple. We're just going to dust it with some cocoa. Just going to add that extra bit of chocolate to it. Don't be shy with your cocoa, get in there. Tip it around so it spreads out. We're going to add our mixture to our ramekins, and you want to fill it 3/4 of the way. So the oven has been preheated at 180 degrees. You're going to pop these in for about 10 to 12 minutes. You want the outside to be beautiful and fluffy, and the inside to be gooey and delicious. So these have been cooking, and you can just smell chocolate all through this kitchen. It's time to dress them, then I'm going to get into it.
A dusting of icing sugar. I'm adding raspberries and cherries to balance out the richness of the chocolate. And a sprig of mint to add the freshness and a pop of colour.
And there you have it, what I would call the perfect girls' night out molten chocolate lava cake.
He tere, he rekara wā tu hoki. Tēnei ki hini, I nā te kākara namu namu wā. Ka mutu te atāhua hoki. One word, yum.
This is how I've dressed the dessert. Easy eats, but the proof is in the pudding. It is fluffy, it is tasty, and it is most certainly gooey in the inside.
今天我们大厨做的几款美食啊，都非常有特色，说不定也会成为爆款呢。好的，感谢您收看今天的节目，下周同一时间我们不见不散啦。